Yes, it is Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine Brand is here with me.
Good morning.
Good morning. And for Yeezy, first thing we want to talk about is Ja Morant. He did a sit-down interview with Jalen Rose. I saw when Jalen Rose posted it yesterday. Mm-hmm. He said, talk to Ja Morant about poor decisions he has made and what he has learned.
Okay.
You know, he got suspended for 8 games by the NBA for conduct detrimental to the league. They announced that. And that all follows an incident where Ja Morant was seen on an Instagram live video holding a gun at a nightclub outside Denver. There's been a whole snowball effect since then.
Right.
And here's what he had to say on what was going through his head when he went live on Instagram with that gun.
Okay.
What were you thinking and feeling at that moment when you decided to go live?
Pretty much just trying to be free. Use that as an escape, which I shouldn't have. And I feel like that's the reason, I made many, bad decisions, in my past, which doesn't describe Ja as a person. I'm a totally different person, than what's been shown, in the media. Felt like, I was releasing stress, and I felt like it was healthy for me, which it wasn't. And that caused me to do some things that, I shouldn't have.
All right. In addition to that, he talked about taking full responsibility for what he did.
You at the spot, Shotgun Willie's. You were holding a gun, and we both know how dangerous that can be. Whose gun were you holding?
Well, the gun wasn't mine. It's not who I am. I don't condone any type of violence, but I take full responsibility for my actions. Made a bad mistake.
Now, I saw Jalen Rose going back and forth with somebody on social media. I guess people had an issue with him asking a question about the gun. Mm-hmm. And he said he has a corporate job and sponsors. It was necessary for him to say it wasn't his gun, even if you're not sophisticated enough to understand. And that person deleted their comment, so I don't know what they said.
Okay, Jalen.
But here's what Ja Morant had to say on what his last 10 to 11 days have looked like.
What has the last 10 or 11 days been like for you, and how are you doing?
Me personally, I feel mentally good that I haven't, been in, many years. I'm in a space where I'm, very comfortable. I was constantly, talking to therapists. I've been doing, Reiki treatment. I've been doing anxiety breathing, different stuff to, help me manage that and, release, all that stuff from my body.
He's doing a lot.
Reiki treatments.
Yeah.
I've actually wanted to try that.
I was going to ask you, Angela, if you had that.
You know, I be trying
before.
everything.
Yeah. You do a little bit of, yeah.
I do want to try that. But yeah, so we'll see how all of that works. I saw Jalen Rose was on his social media page earlier today. He reposted somebody and he put a little bullseye emoji, but the person said Jalen Rose asking whose gun it wasn't an issue. It's a legit question, so Ja can back up why he didn't get a 50-game suspension. So it's not all set up by the system.
Got it.
It's just, violating that CBA, that collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
All right, so just wanted to make sure you guys had that. And shout out to Jalen Rose, by the way. I think that was the perfect person to sit down and do that interview. Jalen Rose has spoken about things from his past, too, that he's had to deal with.
Right.
And,
He can relate. He can relate to him. So
we saw you on BMF, Jalen Rose. All right, and congratulations to Romeo Miller. He has a baby. He introduced his daughter, Winter Snow Miller, to the world. He posted on social media, "My tribe is growing. I introduce to you my fearless, intuitive, and ingenious daughter, Winter Snow Miller. My heart is so full knowing that my girls will have each other as they grow. I'm a papa of 2. I've accomplished a lot of things in my life, but becoming a father is by far the best and most fulfilling." And he said, #girl dad.
I was about to say, he's a girl dad.
Yes. And that is your Yee Tea. We got a lot more coming up as we go throughout the show on Way Up with Angela Yee. But when we come back, it's about last night.
Angela, why are you looking at me like that?
Because, Jasmine, this has to do with you. Last night, you got a little saucy, and we found out some things
Oh, my gosh.
that you did last week that I had no idea happened. And apparently, you don't recall either.
I do not recall, Angela.
And how many of y'all have had that situation where you went out, got a little saucy, and then the next day, people are telling you what you did? We'll talk about it on About Last Night. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.